Friday, May 9th is the Lion Channel. I'm John. And if you are not feeling good, if you are feeling any negative emotions all the way down to depression, start watching this channel because I can tell you, at least what worked for me to get me not only out of that depression, the deepest of depressions, but to the point where each day I'm feeling better and better, and each day is just building upon itself. The very first thing I did was just close my eyes and watch my thoughts and realized that my inner dialogue and my thoughts were 90% negative. And from there, realizing that that is what was creating my world. So even though externally, as I've said before, some people might look at my life and be like, what is this guy out of his mind? Like, why is he feeling that way? Because he has a beautiful wife, he's got 3 great kids, he seems like he's doing well. But if your internal dialogue is telling you the opposite of that, that is what's creating your world. So you're not seeing the good things that you have. You're not being grateful for what you have. You're only focused on what you don't have. And you can look all around the world at people who look like they have everything and are making millions of dollars, and they're tapping out and they're leaving and overdosing because of their state of mind and their perspective. Okay, so as I said, first thing I did was I started watching my thoughts, and I realized that my thoughts were creating my world. Now, there's not a lot that has changed in my external world since April 3rd, since I was in that depression. But what has changed is inside of me. Those are where the major changes are taking place first. And the reason why they are taking place is because I'm applying the law of assumption. I'm falling asleep each night in the wish fulfilled in what I want my future to look like, and acting as if I already have it. Like the scene that I play every night is me at my new beautiful $10 million house in my backyard by my pool, and I'm sitting there, and 2 people that I know, I won't mention them, but 2 people that I know walk up to me and they're congratulating me on it's the first time they're visiting my house. And so they're seeing it for the first time and they're congratulating me on my house and my success. And we have a little bit of conversation, and I also throw some other things in there in terms of how healthy I'm feeling and my YouTube channel and how many, right now it's 35,000 subscribers. Okay. And I even mentioned my bank account that, not only do I have a $10 million home, but I also have $30 million in the bank and more coming. And that's it. And so every night I'm going to sleep and I'm falling asleep, finding that feeling state and impressing the subconscious mind. So when I wake up the next day, my subconscious has me doing things that I wasn't doing before, like has me motivated to exercise. It's like I can't even control it because it's something that I want to do. My subconscious is now making it seem like it's something enjoyable to do, instead of making it feel enjoyable to just do nothing, or enjoyable to sit in a dark room with the door closed and the shades down. Now it's totally flipped the script because I'm impressing it and letting it know that I want something else. And so it's turning me into that person who has the $10 million house and who has all of these things that I'm seeing in my vision. So that's pretty much all I'm doing. And things are changing rapidly. Like I said, that was April 3rd. We're May 9th. And I've been making videos for a week. I didn't even want to talk to my relatives when they came over. I didn't want to leave the room and go have a conversation. Now I'm having a conversation with the world. We're talking about 5 weeks. So I don't know, if you're feeling that way, I guess start doing what I'm saying. All right. So in the last 24 hours also, I've realized that now every Thursday night we drop my daughter off at her voice class, and my wife and we go for a walk, like hiking sometimes, for 2 hours while she's at voice class. You know what I never wanted to do 5 weeks ago? The last thing I wanted to do was go for a walk. My wife would drop my daughter off at voice class, and then she would go work out and then pick her up and bring her back. Now I look forward to our walks. We're having conversations about finances, which we've both grew up struggling. We were both raised in low income families. And so we've kind of, had made certain impressions to the subconscious mind that have always been with us. No matter how much money we're making, it always feels like a struggle. And so anytime we had to have a talk about finances or money, you could feel that there was always that tension there. It was, if you've never had, issues with money, then you really don't understand what I'm talking about. But if you have had issues with money, when you talk about money, it's like your things start to tighten up a little bit. It's like there's this nervousness there or something. But now there's not that. And we're talking about like making big decisions. And there's things that are on the cusp of happening financially that when they do, then I'll talk about it. Okay, but I'm just saying these things are changing, and it's not magic. It's not, you could write down this list of things that I've changed over the last 5 weeks, and I challenge you to just go try to change it. If you have some things that are similar, write those things down and see if you could stay consistent for 5 weeks doing those things without falling asleep and impressing the subconscious mind. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. As I talked about, I was trying to motivate myself, and I feel like I have pretty good willpower. Okay, I was trying to motivate myself for 2 years to work out consistently. I couldn't do it. I would start up a couple days, and that was it. And it would fall off. A month or two later, I'd try it again. I was psyched, motivated. Now, it wasn't even on my list to do, and I'm just doing it. So, the other thing is that's really helping, and I keep talking about it, is the realizing that we live in a simulation. And if you watch this video and you hear the simulation, some people might feel a certain way towards that and think, I'm nuts, or think people who think this is a simulation are nuts. But the richest person in the world, Elon Musk, he's worth $363.6 billion. Imagine counting $100 bills to $363.6 billion. How long do you think that would take you? But he has said there's basically a 99.9% chance that this is a simulation. He's the richest person in the world. And that's how he views this world. That's his perspective. Okay? I didn't know that before I knew it, but I just thought of it yesterday. So that's why I'm bringing it up in this video. So if the richest person in the world, which some people would say the richest person in the world is the most successful person in the world, and seems like to be the smartest person in the world, thinks that this is a simulation, I don't know. I mean, I'll go with him. And I see what's happening in my world as I believe it more and more and more every day. And once you're open to it and you live and you start seeing stuff like some of the stuff that I talked about yesterday, it just reinforces it. And soon it's just gonna become ingrained. And I'm not even gonna have to remind myself. It's just how I'm going to see it. But when you see it as a simulation, you stop taking it seriously. And it brings you into the present moment, because it's like, why am I going to worry about this? Or why am I going to think about anything in the past that happened when I know how it works? Like, you impress the subconscious mind, and that's where you're doing your creating of the upcoming movie. Anything that's playing right now in your experience is just stuff that you've created that you didn't even know you were creating. Now, if you know that, if you're taking what I'm saying here, and it's like, now you're like, okay, I'm going to go create. If what he's saying is true, I'm going to try and fall asleep tonight and impress the subconscious mind. And then you're going to find out, just like I did, that it works. Then as you do that, you stop taking this stuff seriously, because you're like, okay, this is just old movie reel that needs to play out. And so if you keep just continuing, ignore this for the time being, until those things that the new movie that you're creating start really playing out in your experience, and then you just enjoy it. But I'm enjoying this right now anyway. And so when the stuff comes that I'm actually creating, now that I know how to create and how all this works, I'll be able to enjoy that even more. My experience will be enhanced. So, yep. So another great day. Things are just, and the last thing is like, just think of how I'm feeling right now while I'm making this video. You can't fake feeling, okay? Like I said, people have millions of dollars. They have all of these, toys, so to speak, 10 cars and movie stars and all of the fame and fortune, and they tap out because of how they feel. So even if I didn't have everything, I would want the feeling. And that's what I'm getting first, is the feeling. So if you want the feeling, just start doing these things. Okay, I'm making these videos for me, but it's really for just to help, because I think about how I felt, and I wouldn't ever want to feel that way again. I wouldn't want anyone to feel that way. So if you're there or close to there, just I'm telling you, just start doing this stuff, and you'll start seeing it. So, all right, that's it. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. See you.